at the Meri Atelier, and this is Friday, May the 31st. Welcome to my desk. Welcome to my desk. So, while I'm waiting for folks to come in, tonight we're going to do some lists. I have a happy mail to show you, and I've got a few things to do before we get started, so let me get over here to my notepad and set things up so that I can see folks when they come in and welcome them in. It takes a moment. Uh-oh. It says I'm not charged. Why not? Now it's charging. Okay. Oh dear. Go to my channel and into my live stream. I've got 2 of you in here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Up in the balcony? Are you up in the balcony? Let's go to all messages. Skip the ad. And set the quality. Up from 480 to 1080. There we go. Hi, Joyce. Hi, Kitty Jen. Welcome in, ladies. Looks like I got a little glare going here on my notepad. Welcome in to everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It says I have 8 of you out there. There we go. Okie dokie. Well, while I'm waiting for folks to come in, I got a wonderful postcard from Linda Renz. Thank you, Linda. And let's cover up the addresses. It just says, Meri, thanks for all you do. It's me who need to be thanking you, but thank you so much for the lovely sunflowers. Yeah. And I think there was a stamp up here, but it looks like it might have fallen off. No, the stamp's on the other side. I am going to put it over with my other postcards. I'm working on postcards, Linda. I'm going to add you to the goat list. I'm going to add you to the goat list. I'm not going to work on these tonight. They'll get sent out when I get them finished. But I have been tatting more. I'm tatting butterflies for the, I'm going to put it like this just to keep things from falling out. I'm going to tat some butterflies for the fairy postcards that I'm working on. So they've all been won. Meri, Dee Dee is going to do a zine swap. She is. Oh, she was on this afternoon. I couldn't stay for the whole thing. Or she was on this morning. I could not stay for the whole thing because we had thunderstorms. It rained pretty heavy here today. We need the rain, rain, rain. Here is my Japanese indigo plant. Let me hold this up, show you how tall. They're all about this tall. I'm going to transplant them. I might have to thin them out a little when I transplant them. But I've got several containers of these. They're going to go out in the garden. So I think I know where I'm going to put them. But I wanted to show you how I planted these about 2 weeks ago, I think. And they have just sprung up. So I think they're ready to be transplanted. I'm also going to plant some watermelon. I might do that in a video. So Dee Dee's going to have a zine swap. What kind of a zine swap? Hi, Nina. Oh, there's Linda. Thank you so much for that wonderful postcard, Linda. You're going to get on the goat list. And if any of you want a postcard, I won't guarantee you they'll all be goats or fairies. I'm thinking that I'm going to do some more Tree of Life. There's a little rabbit that Mina's liking. I might do that next, but I'm not going to do any more postcards until I get these finished. Now, I'm going to have a giveaway tonight at 8:30. but they're all done. I did that a couple years ago, and I just I never had a giveaway for them, and I never got them sent out. They've just been sitting here. And they're July tags, but I figure if I have the giveaway tonight, I'll get them sent out by the end of June. She will announce it on Monday. Okay, thank you, Joyce, for letting me know. I'll be sure to check in on that. Another zine swap. Jen says, I have my pen and my last year's notepad out for the lists because I couldn't find the new one for notes. You know what? I looked all over for the other night in my Society of Idea Collector, and obviously when I did them, I've done a lot of lists in streams before, but I put them in my journals, and my journals are all in the little craft room in there, the little I call it my stash closet. So I got out a new composition book, and I'm going to start a list. This is just a scrap paper. I'm going to start a list journal. So at some point, I'll redo the cover. I also found, while we're waiting for folks to come in, I found some walnut dyed fabric. These two are walnut dyed, and this is rust dyed. And I'm going to put these in my Society of Idea Collector while we're waiting for a few more folks to get here. We're going to have fun with the lists. I enjoy doing them. I enjoy all the things you guys come up with. Now, find my Society of Idea Collector journal here. Where is it? Come on, Meri. Here it is. Right down here by the foot of my chair. I want to, and let me show you this. I said that my next dye experiment was going to be black beans and avocado. But while I was hunting for those tags, I knew where they were. But I found this PT, P-E-A-T. This is PT. And I bought a big bag of it. And I think I learned this from Rosemary. And I think it gives a lovely blue. Now, what I used gave me a gray color. So I don't know if I did it wrong or if it just was the fabric I was using or what. But I got a lot of this left. And I thought I would try. I might as well. It's just been sitting around here. The painter's tape is drying up on me. If I can get it off here. Oh, I'm tearing that. Well, it's got two bags. It's double bagged here. Oh, I can't tear it anymore. Here. I just want to close it. I'll get another baggie So I might do this weekend. Because I got it here and I might as well use it. I haven't used very much of it. Because I didn't know what I was doing. But while we're waiting for more folks to come in. So how's your weekend? It's a new weekend. How's it going to start off for you? Now I think I'll put, because I did this this month. I'm going to put May of 2024. And I put nothing was added to these. And the same way with the Purple Iris, May 2024. And these are just cotton. This was a cotton shirt that I got. It was at Goodwill. It was in a bag I got at Goodwill, one of those manager special bags. And this was a piece of fabric. I'm not sure where I got that. It's kind of a woven fabric. And these are cotton. These are both walnut dyed. I'll put May 2024. And this is rust dyed. And I think I'll draw a line here. And it doesn't have to be any special, I'm just adding. Yeah, I wanted to stay and watch all of Dee Dee today, but I didn't go online because, I don't know, when it storms and when it's just raining, I'm okay with it, but when it's storming, and we've had pretty stormy weather today, nothing serious, nothing that would make me run to the basement, no tornadoes or high winds. I guess I was more afraid of lightning than anything, but we're all okay. And I've been online this afternoon. I've been watching Pearl. I said, I'm not going to watch Pearl and I'm not going to buy more this month. You know how that went. I popped into Pearl's. I've been trying to set up my dental appointment and everything, and so I had to deal with some calls with that. So I didn't get to watch all of Pearl. But, go put it under like this. I popped in when she was selling some jewelry that she had at her shop, at her booth. She's getting rid of things. Yeah, hold on. Says she's emptying her bins. And it kind of caused a problem for her at the end of the stream. I didn't mean to. Pearl, if you're listening. I didn't mean to. They had a drawing, and I picked a number out of range, and Deb told me it was out of range, and I fixed that. And she gave the range, and then we all gave our numbers, and then she said, it's the number above it that's closest to it, something like that. And I'm going, she should have told us that before we picked our numbers. And I went back and listened to make sure that she didn't, make sure I didn't miss it. And she didn't. She gave the numbers right before she did the drawing, after we already picked our numbers. And I picked number 11. Well, the range was 11 through 49, I think. 49 or 50. And if she says that, make sure you don't pick the lowest one or the top one, because you'll never win. 11 would, she would have to pick a number, draw a number lower than 11 for my 11 to be higher. And I was trying to explain it to her, and, Deb was saying, well, I told you, and I'm going, yeah, you told us that you didn't tell us before we picked our numbers. And I was trying to explain it, and, they were going, Pearl saying, I heard her say it, Mary, and I'm sitting there going, and I was typing, and my typing on the mobile phone is not the best, and I'm trying to correct mistake. It was just a mess. So I didn't mean to cause all that trouble in your game. Next time I'll leave. Sherry said she's going to be listening. She's going to put a pot of soup on for tomorrow. Hi, Dar. Good morning, Dar. Hi, Melody. Melody bought a rabbit, a big old rabbit from Pearl. And I'm going, I know who that rabbit's for. Hi, Darla. Darla was there, too, at Pearl's sale today. I left before all of that, Mary. I'm sure you didn't upset anyone. Oh, I think I upset Deb. Pearl's pretty laid back, but I don't think either one of them. Well, I was having trouble explaining it because I was trying to type, and they were getting ready to leave, and I knew they were going to leave before I got my message all typed, because I have to correct every word in my message on that stupid cell phone. And, I should have just said forget it, Mary, I'll message Pearl my concern. And I did message Pearl afterwards, and I tried to explain it to her. I tried to explain that I wasn't upset. And Deb was saying, put something extra in Mary's. And then the lady that won it said, give it to Mary. And I'm going, no, I don't want it. I want you to listen to what I'm saying for the future. Anyway, my Japanese indigo, I should take a picture of this before I plant it. I got a picture of the little seedlings. I should take a picture of this. Maybe I will before I plant it, just to document. Okay, this is walnut. Walnut dye. Walnut dye. And I did not add anything to it. Nothing. No alcohol. This, because I didn't do any, I did not do any, make any ink this year. Alcohol was added to keep it from getting moldy. Keep from mold. And I made this a couple years ago. I don't know exactly when. And this is rust dyeing. And there's a recipe, and I'll have to look that up. I did this a couple years ago when I was doing Rosemary's Rust Caboodle. I think it's peroxide, hydrogen peroxide, and something else. Water, of course. Hydrogen peroxide and salt, I think. There's a recipe for rust dyeing. And then you use your metals like tin and safety pins and anything that can rust you use. But I wanted to add it into my society. And I see I've got the small red bird cut from pin felt white paper Christmas tree. Looks like I was designing my Christmas tree there. It's out of place. Well, anyway. So poor Pearl, I caused her trouble. Mary and her big mouth and her bad typing. Let me put this back. Okay, Beth is here. Hi, Beth. Welcome in. You guys, we're going to have a giveaway at 8:30. I'll show you what I'm going to give away. I made these a couple years ago. I never had a giveaway. This is not a giveaway of a giveaway. This is a giveaway of a project I did a couple years ago. And these are July tags. Now, I made them for the 4th of July, but International are welcome to play. And if they don't want the flag, I'll take them off. I can take this is a little flag that's passed around the 4th of July. But they're all, I got a couple of, they're all Tim Holtz. Do I need to zoom in a little? And I think there's enough here that when I have the giveaway, I'll just ask for me's who wants one, because I probably have enough to give everybody that wants one. And if you don't want one, you don't have to take one. I'm not forcing it on. On the back, I have playing cards on some of them. I don't know if looks like I have it on, I must have had a deck of cards. Oh, not this one. 4 of them have, several of them have, let's sort them out. Well, let's see, I did these in 2019, June of 2019. So it's almost June. It's 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. So 25 years ago. Most of them have the little guys on the back. I think this one just missed it. Looks like I might have had one there and tore it off. Most of them have the little soldier on the back. I'm going to count them after I check all of these. I think most of them do. So at 8:30, you guys, if I get going on stuff, you'll have to stop and remind me. But I'll be looking at chat. That's a kitty cat. I'll be looking at chat quite a bit because we're going to be doing lists. So if it gets to be 8:30 and I'm still in my world, yell at me. All right, so we got, I'll show them to you here. See, I painted, like this is the man, and I have celebrate. And, you know, I have 4th of July embellishments on here. And the fabrics are red, white, and blue, or kind of white. There's stars and blue stars. Kind of a checked gingham and white with red stars. I think that's probably it on most of them. The little girls. So 1, 2, I'm not going to show all of them. 3, 4. This is a little boy. I think I did a mixed media on the back. That was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think I'll keep this one for myself. So this will be 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. I got 24 of them, so, and there's only 22 of you in here. But you don't have to take one if you don't want. But that I'm going to have that giveaway at 8:30 because some more folks might come in. So these two I'm going to put aside for myself. So you have a good chance of getting one if you want it. So I've got 22 of you in here. Dara's here, Melody's here, Jen is here, Darla is here, Beth Schuler. Beth, it's good to see you. Beth, I started working on my twinchies today. Is it okay that I give them slow stitch? I thought I would mix it, give them slow stitch and paper twinchies. But is it okay if they get fabric ones, slow stitch ones? Hi, Cynthia McCoy. Welcome in. Hi, Angie. Beth said that was 5 years ago, and I started streaming 5 years ago. Yeah, Beth has been online for 5 years on her channel, with her channel. For those of you who didn't see, this is my little Japanese indigo plant. One of them. I'm going to try to plant them tomorrow. The ground will probably be pretty soft. I need to dig up all the weeds. Angie says, Mary, that gives me an idea. I might make some to give away at our town festival. Is that okay? Oh, of course. Of course it's okay, Angie. It's called tag lifting. Is that what it's called? It's called idea sharing. I'm sure that tags are not my original idea either, Angie. Of course. When is your festival? Is Diane Fago, Packer Diane here? Hi, Diane. Welcome in. You're getting the rain that we had this morning? Oh, it rained. Well, yeah, it rained this morning, and then it rained pretty good around noon or 1 o'clock. We had pretty solid rain. The ground is wet. Our grass is growing. I hope our little neighborhood boy wants to mow again. If he doesn't, I'll have to because the grass is getting pretty tall. And we've got to till the and weed our garden, till the spot that was not, we didn't plant the entire garden this year, so I don't want the weeds to take over. I want to till it, and then I'm just going to sow wildflower out there and see what comes up. Mary, thank you. It is June the 10th. Oh, June 10th. Very good. It's beautiful. It's a nice, peaceful rain, Diane says. That's good, because you guys don't up there in Omaha. Diane, were you affected by that? Are you in Omaha yet? I think you are. Omaha doesn't need any more of that severe weather. You had your share already this year, but we don't want it either. It kind of, the weekend after Omaha got hit. Yeah, Diane says, we had our tornado last month. The week after Omaha got hit, some more tornadoes came in, really kept Ryan Hall y'all busy. And they came through our area, but they came through a little south and east of us, and then they went northeast. So we got, it was just a couple miles from you. Yeah, well, I'm glad it didn't hit you, but it did some damage up that way in northwest Omaha and what was Waco? What's that town right before Omaha? It did where it took the roof off of that building or something, where there were 70 people in it. Luckily, they got them into safety. Yeah, it tore a few neighborhoods out completely. Waterloo, yeah. I was going to say Waco. It's Waterloo, yeah. It's so sad. My heart goes out to folks who, it's just such a heartbreak. And I feel the same way when it snows and it's icy. People work all their life to build their houses and their businesses and everything. Their small towns and their communities. And those tornadoes, when they go through, they can wreck everything in 5 minutes. And I think I saw that it read in the paper, now this could be misinformation, take this with a grain of salt. I thought there were 33 deaths from the tornado season. Now I don't know if I doubt that that's in Nebraska. I think it's in the Midwest. Oh, there's Chris. Hi, Chris. Welcome in. And then in the wintertime, I refuse, unless I absolutely have to go out when it snows and when it's icy, I won't. Because, you can go out and get in a serious car accident, and then the ice melts. So, it's just like it's out to get you. Chris says, hello, everyone. Who else am I missing? Diane, Angie, Beth Schuler, Cynthia McCoy, Angie, Dar, Beth, Diane. I'm just kind of running up the list here to see if I missed anybody. Darla. Welcome in, everybody. It's sure good to see you. Joyce Boring. Joyce said that Dee Dee's going to run another zine swap, and she's going to announce it on Monday. So if you're interested in that, be sure and watch Dee Dee's stream Monday, or watch her replay and get all the info. And also, Beth Schuler has and I'm going to participate in Beth's Twinchy swap. And if you want to participate, and Beth, you can correct me if I say things wrong. A Twinchy is a 2x2 square, and you sign up by June the 1st, so you've got a couple hours if you're interested. Beth is in the stream tonight. Let Beth know if you're interested in, and you tell her how many people that you want to swap with, and you send them 2 Twinchies. So you would be sending them 2 2x4s and some Happy Mail. And that will fit in a business envelope. I'm going to do 3 people. I'm going to swap with 3 people. And the deadline is June the 15th, I believe, to have everything sent off. So I'm working on them, but I'm enjoying slow stitching. So I'm going to do some slow stitch squares, but I'll probably put in a paper one too, just because not everybody likes the fabric. They like to have paper in their journals and stuff. So let Beth know, if Beth Schuler, know if you're interested. Elkhorn. Yeah, oh, Elkhorn is where it destroyed the entire neighborhood. It's devastating to see. Yeah, it's like a war zone. Elkhorn is right. In fact, Diane, in my younger days, I did work in Omaha for about a year, and a little over a year. I never really stayed around that area too much, but I lived out in Valley. I rented a little upstairs apartment in a little white house in Valley, and I drove by Elkhorn going into Omaha. Those were the days. Those were the days, my friend. Now my working days are all over with, and that kind of brings us to our list that we're going to do tonight. What did I do with my book? I'm going to start a composition book of lists here. But what I thought I would do is share with you, let me put this PT away here. This is a Somerset magazine. This is from their Bella Grace. And this is their book of lists. And you can probably still get this. I don't know if they have copies of this available. Let me turn my camera, slant my camera a little, just a teeny bit. And I think I don't want to zoom in anymore. But Dee Dee Willingham is the person who got me started on making lists. And I mean, I've made grocery lists and, you know, various Christmas card lists and that type of thing. But this is, you know, Dee Dee did it with her Society of Idea Collector playlist. And she shows where you do different lists, and then you pick 3 numbers, or have somebody pick 3 numbers, and then pick from 3 different groups. And then you do art or story or something creative around the 3 choices that you picked. But you're always building your lists. And I think in my journal that I shared the other night, I'm not going to dig it out now. I found one in my Society of Idea Collector where she did people, places, and was it transportation? People meaning like careers, like you're a banker or a pharmacist or something like that. Beth says she does swaps every month. Come and play with us. Yeah, Beth does a lot of fun games and swaps on her channel. I wish I could participate every month, but I'd probably get myself into trouble real fast. I'm working hard to get these done. That says she has a good list. What is your good list? Of good people? People that been good and did good things? Well, I marked a couple lists in here. They give, well, they kind of tell some things on the list, but then they ask you. But I marked a couple of them because I thought they looked pretty fun. This one is on childlike wonder. It says, the world is full of wonder if we simply open ourselves to see it. But sometimes, with the weight and the burdens of daily life, we must not only open our eyes or tell our minds what we know is true, but we must also feel it with our bodies, to taste on our tongues, touch with our skin, to listen with all of our senses, to awaken the childlike wonder within us. And this magazine is, of course, published by, it's a Bella Grace magazine, and this particular one was published in, I'm looking for copyright, Oh, it's 2024. Copyright 2024. So this is a recent edition. This came out display until March 25th, I think it says. I can't read the type so small. 25th of 24. So this is a recent magazine, so I'm sure they probably still have copies of it if you're interested. I'm not going to read everything that they put there because I don't think that'd be fair to them, but they have a worksheet here. And let me read it here. It says, as we grow older, it's all too easy to lose touch with the child we once were. The demands of adult life push and pull us in every direction. But perhaps this wouldn't be so bad if we could steal pockets of time to add a little childlike wonder to each day. And then it says, what are some of the things you can do to reconnect with the child very, very deep within you? I marked that one. And then I marked this one. That's just my marker. That's not the one I marked. That's the paper I use. When I'm old, I will. And then they have a whole bunch of things that are suggestions of what to do when you're old. And then they have a worksheet. I love these worksheets. It says, many people think our older years as a time to settle down, relax, and find contentment in what's left in life. However, with confidence we gain as we grow older, as well as life's lessons we've learned throughout the years, it can also be the perfect time to seize the moment and do what you've always wanted to do. And they list, well, they don't number them, probably about 10 or 15, and you fill it out. And then the other one that I marked was 15 ways to add some sparkle to your life. And then they give some ways, 15 ways, and I circled number 5 that says, design your own unique happy box from scratch with scrapbook pages, sewing material, leaves, buttons, or whatever else you can find. Fill it with all the things that never fail to make you happy. I thought that would be fun to do, make a little happy box. But then as I got to thinking about it, my whole room in here is my happy box. I walk around in it. I got a room full of things that make me happy. I don't think one little box is big enough, but it's fun to read all the things. So I thought we'd take and do one of these just for fun. And I'm thinking, well, we could do the happy box, but I'm thinking the childlike wonder. What could you do? Let's see, what does it say here? It's a worksheet there, is there not? Did I skip it? Oh, that's not the childlike wonder. I thought I marked it. Did I lose it? Thought I marked it here. I did, it's hiding. What are some things you can do to reconnect with the child buried deep inside of you? So, I could fill it right in here, but I'm going to use this as inspiration, and I'm going to do it in my list here. And what I want you guys to do, let's just start it. This is May 31. May 31. And this is a list. They're all going to be lists in this journal. And I'm going to call it Childlike Wonder. childlike, is that what they call it? Let me see, and I want to credit Somerset for this. I want to get the inspiration from them, but I don't want to copy all their ideas or all of their, because I don't think that'd be fair to them. I would say if you're interested in this magazine, they do have sales. They call it Awaken Childlike Wonder. Ways to Awaken Childlike Wonder. So, ways to awaken childlike wonder. So, what are some ways that you can do? And I'm going to ask you guys to contribute. Hi, Bob Villian. What are some ways that you can, some things that you can do to wake up that child within you? Think back to your childhood and what made you wonder about things. Let me think back to my own childhood. I was a tomboy. So I have to say, I was out climbing windmills and riding the bike. I don't think I said, okay, I'm going to go wonder about this today. I just went outside and played. And in fact, I'm going to use that. I'm going to say, play outside. Play outside is a good one. Play outside. Go outside. Now, you probably won't want to, well, and you could ride your bicycle. I used to ride a bicycle. We used to be outside all after, especially in the summer, all afternoon, and Mom would yell at the door saying, it's getting dark outside, it's time to come in. So play outside is a good example. Go outside. Now, as an adult, you could go outside and what could you do for play? You could ride a bike. What are some other things you could do? Ride a bike. I'm trying to think. I always rode the bicycle. Well, if you're physically fit enough, you could climb a tree. Climb a tree at 72, Mary? Lay in the grass. Okay. We're going to do that. That's a good one. Lay in the grass. Lay in the grass. Forget climbing the tree. I might get some black marks for suggesting that. I'd be lucky to climb up the front steps. Lay in the grass. I'm going to see what you guys are all saying. Finger paint. Angie said she was a cheerleader. All right. Let me get these down. Angie said she's cutting her tags. Allie K said put a link to the Bella Grace magazines. Thank you, Angie. Not Angie, Allie K. Thank you. Angie was right below you. Cheer for your team. Does that make sense, Angie? Cheer for your team. And I'm going to add to that because it popped into my head with a cheerleader. Throw a ball. Throw a ball. Blow a balloon. I'll get back to you guys. I'm getting inspired. Blow up a balloon. You know, children, especially 10 and under, they don't have ways to get money to go buy things. So they kind of, what do you want to say? They take, it's such simplicity. They take what they have and their imaginations, and of course, you know, their mom and dads get things for them, but like lay in the grass. Let's see what else you guys are saying. Pick a dandelion bouquet. All right, let me get back here. I was cheerleader. Finger paint. Finger paint. Oh, Allie K was a cheerleader too. Look at that. Lay in the grass and watch the bugs move and sway. Oh, I know. Okay, we're going to put watch the bugs. We're going to separate those. Watch the bugs. Watch the bugs move. I have to say I've probably done that. And the grass sway. I've always wondered at crickets. You know, I'm going to say listen to the crickets, because that's something I always did, because when we would hear crickets, they were never where we thought they were. They would, you know, they would make that singing cricket sound, and you'd think in one corner and you go look and they wouldn't be there. They were hopping around someplace else. I'm going to say listen to the crickets. That's one of my childhood memories. Let me get back to, let's see. Pick a dandelion bouquet. Bird watch. Watch those birds. We can still do that. We get crows and robins. We get crows and robins here, or blackbirds and robins. There's a little robin hopping around in the front. I was sitting in the porch swing, and he was hopping around, and he stopped, and he looked right at me. And I was just, you know, I was just kind of moving back and forth gently in the swing, and I didn't stop. I kept doing it. But he was watching me. I know he was watching me, and he watched me for the longest time. And I said hello to him, and I said, "Did you come for a visit?" He eventually flew away, but it was so interesting how I wondered what he was, you know, what was he thinking? Was he thinking at all? They have to, this makes you kind of wonder, do birds think? Or do everything that they do when they go eat a bug, do they say, oh, there's a bug, I'm going to eat it? It's one of the juicy ones, it's one that I like, or do they just do that all by instinct? I mean, they probably don't verbalize everything like we do, but, you know, they surely have brains, even though it's a bird brain. It makes you wonder, how do they process things? Is it all instinct? I guess you would have to be a scientist to answer that. Hopscotch, or well-read. Hopscotch? I never really played that. I've watched others play it. Lay and watch the shapes in the clouds. Lay and watch. Yeah, we used to do that. I did that even, like, I can remember as a senior in high school, sitting out in our front yard and had a blanket on the ground, and I was laying out there watching the clouds. Watch shapes in the clouds. What else? Childlike wonder. One thing we always used to, and it was more of a saying than a wonder, but it was like, if you dig a hole deep enough, will you wind up in China? So how deep is I want to say the ground. I want to say a hole in the ground. What is the deepest? A hole in the ground, the deepest hole. And if you dig deep enough. Will you end up in China? That's kind of a childhood. That's one of my memories. Not memory, but yeah, kind of a memory. Play in the stream. Play in the stream. That's a good one. I might have to refresh chat here in a minute. Allie, Angie says, I was from age 6 to 10 years old. My dad was a football coach. Allie says, water fight. Water fight. Make a snowman in the winter or have a snowball fight. So build a snowman. And what was the other one? Snowball fight. I'm going to make those two separate ones. Snowball fight. We used to build snow forts. Did you guys ever build snow forts? That's when we had snow. A lot of snow when I was younger. Build snow forts. I can still remember doing that. And I can remember one year, I must have been about 4th grade, 5th grade. We had so much snow and the drifts were so high. Well, probably too because our house faced the east and we had a pretty long driveway. We had 2 mulberry trees here. There were some other trees up in here and our house was here. And you go about halfway down, we had 2 mulberry trees. This was all... We used to have a garden out in here, but this was all grass and field, you know, it's kind of an empty area. But over here was a thicket, a thicket. I want to say it wasn't a mulberry thicket, it was just a thicket, bushes. And there was a fence line behind it, and then the farmer had his corn over there. But I imagine when it snowed, that thicket would act as a snow fence. And the snow drifts would pile up real high. It would cover that thicket. That thicket had to be 4 or 5 feet tall, if not taller than that. And the drifts would just cover it. And it would be hard enough that we could go out there and walk on top of those snow drifts. I'm going to put that, walk on top of snow drifts. These are just more childhood memories, but it kind of inspires the wonder in you. Because you're out exploring your I want to say your external life, the world around you. Walk on snowdrifts. And I'm going to put exploring the world around us. That's especially when we're 2 and 3 years old, that's how we learn about things, is explore our world around us. Okay, I got a couple of my own in there. Collect lightning bugs in a jar. See how long they'd live. See how often they'd blink. Watch them blink. Lightning bugs in a jar. See if you turn out all the lights, how much light they'd make. Collect rocks and paint them. That's a good one. Collect and paint rocks. I've got 20 lines on here. And paint rocks. And I think I can write on the back of this. I didn't use my felt pen because it soaks right through. So we're going to go right to 21 here. go on a nature walk in the park. So that's 2. Nature walk. I should say go on a nature walk. And we'll say walk in the park. That's something you can still do. Go out, and I know when I worked up in Madison in my 40s and 50s, say, noon hour, I didn't like staying in the building. There would be parks nearby, and I would drive my car over to the park and have my lunch in the park. Watch the tree leaves turn color, watch the kids play. That was always fun for me to do, even as an older person. Play in a stream. Water fights. Water fights with water guns. Water fights. I'm going to put hoses and guns and water guns. We had water guns, squirt guns, squirt each other. Now I think they use bottles, don't they? I don't know. Probably have water guns too. Well, in fact, when that family, the little guy who come over, I can't call him a little guy. He's really getting to be a young man. He had a birthday at his 13th birthday. But his mom and dad and then his little sister were all over here, and she had a water gun. She was squirting the front porch. She was going to squirt me. And her mom caught her and said, "No, don't do that." And I told her to go water the flowers. She did. Aw. I heard him out the other day calling his dog Bentley. I could hear him 2 or 3 blocks away calling his dog. I'm going to put pets. Pets. It's kind of a childhood thing. Have your pets, fish and hamsters and gerbils and mice and cats and dogs, and for the farm kids, horses and goats and pigs and chickens, and they're all have pets. They have their 4-H. Make paper dolls. Make paper dolls. Doesn't this make you want to be a kid again? Paper dolls. I'm still doing that. Play in a sandbox. Yeah, play in the sandbox or at the beach. And we'll put / beach. We'd play down at the river, and that was our sandbox, is the old Little Blue River. I got catch fireflies. Collect shells at the beach. Collect shells at the beach. You have to live at a beach to have shells. Skip rocks on a creek. Now, what of these, well, let me finish, but thinking while we're going through these, what are some of these things that have caught your attention that you could do yet today at your age? Like I said, I'm still making paper dolls. This would be one of mine, making the paper dolls. I like to do that. And Allie Kay says, "Well, yeah, Mary, when are you going to finish your Dee Dee paper doll?" She's over here somewhere on this cart. I need to clean the cart off. Let's see, skip rocks, making mud pies. Making mud pies, I used to do that. Make mud pies, we could still do that. Gymnastics. Gymnastics, Kitty Jen. Now, I wouldn't say that I did that personally. I can remember being a sophomore in high school. This is beyond the childhood years, but tumbling backwards. I had this fear. And I would, I'd squat down and I'd lean back and I'm going, that's as far as I'm going. And they were all, the coach and all my little friends. They weren't friends, but my friends in high school. I was a sophomore then. I could not conquer that fear of tumbling backwards. So I wasn't too good at gymnastics. I couldn't even tumble forward, probably. I was lucky to get to squat down. You kind of put your knees up and sit on your tush, and then you go back like that. And I would have to have some effort to get back up today. But gymnastics, for those of you who have done that in your past and can still do some gymnastic things today, maybe you can't tumble backwards or walk whatever they do, but you could probably do some things. Some of you could probably still do some splits. What else do? They do tumbling. They do all that where they run and jump and they get on that bar and that thing, that's like that horizontal bar, and walk around and jump backwards and land on their feet again. I could never do that. I'm amazed at the kids who can. Buy from an ice cream truck. We could do that today if we had an ice cream truck. There used to be one in Madison that would come by. Buy from an ice cream truck. Come by our neighborhood in Madison. There's not one here. The kids here, when we see them out walking, I have to say, we see most of them looking down at their phones. Not all of them. Some of them ride scooters. Some of them have their dogs trailing them. Some of them are, have their younger brothers and sisters with them. But it's always fun to watch them walk by. Some of them wave at me, and I wave back. Others pretend that they didn't see me. Go for a drive in the country. Oh, yes, Allie Kay. Go for a drive. That gets a star. That's something you can do for your day. And it doesn't have to be in the country, but it could be. Go for a drive in the country, because we could still do that today at our age. And, there's just something about, and I even, when we go shopping, because we drive, in the country, you probably drive the same distance to some of your stores in town, because I know to go across the town in Madison be 12 to 20 miles depending on where you're going. Well, we go 20, 25 miles to go grocery shopping now, but it's out in the country, so it feels like we're going more. And as we're driving, I'm always saying, oh, it's so beautiful out. And my brother looks around and says, it's just dirt and sky. But there's that, if you look, there's, in Nebraska, in our part of the country, in the Northeast, there's more hills and trees, but it's pretty flat out here where I live. There's trees and fields, but it's flat, and you can see for miles. And the sky, wherever you are, is big and huge, but it's just big and huge. And then you have your ground, and in the fall or winter, after all the late fall, after all the fields have been picked and everything, and the grass starts turning, it turns this yellow ochre color, especially where there used to be wheat and or grass where it just laid idle. And it's just like fields of yellow ochre, and then you have blue sky. It's just beautiful. And then you have a little horizon line with the little trees and all this big, huge, and as we're driving, I'll remark to my brother, I said, it's just really beautiful. And he goes, okay. But I've always been enthralled. I always loved to go. My mom used to take us all for drives, too. I'm raking up my memories. Allie K. Make s'mores around a bonfire. S'mores around a bonfire. Yeah. Crows are very smart, Diane says. Yeah. I have to say, I don't know if these are crows or blackbirds that come here, but what they'll do, I'll watch them. And they're not shy. If they're hungry, they come out in the yard, especially after I mow. And there'll be a small group of them, like 4 or 5, and they'll start at one end of the yard. And they'll they travel across the yard looking for bugs and there's no worms, I'll tell you that, but our ground isn't rich enough to have worms. Well, the yard might be, but our garden, I tell my brother we need to fertilize. We don't have any worms. He said he found a worm. So I guess that means we don't have to fertilize. But he told me he put some Miracle Grow on his tomatoes the other day. Beth Struhler says she's hungry for worms today. Ew, Beth. Draw with sidewalk chalk. Now you guys are getting artsy on me. Draw with... I was wondering when some art things were going to come up. Sidewalk chalk. Sidewalk chalk. How about crayon rubbings? Do you ever go do crayon rubbings? And not only on gravestones, but on trees and sidewalks and get the texture. I used to do that as a child because it was simple. We had our crayons. Did I get hopscotch? I think I did. Gymnastics. I don't think I wrote it down. I commented on it, but hopscotch. Crack hickory nuts with a brick, Joyce said. Crack. I'm going to write it down, Joyce. Hickory nuts with a brick. Did you eat hickory nuts, Joyce? How did they taste? I don't think I've had. Are those the same as filberts? I don't really think I've had filberts either. I might have tasted them at one time. Jump rope songs. We've done that. Jump rope songs. Well, it's not a jump rope song, but do you ever play Andy, Andy, I Over? Andy, I think it's Andy, Andy. I'm going to say Y over. I don't know if it's I or Y or what. I over. You get a ball outside and one person get on one side of a building where you couldn't see, and you'd have the ball and you'd throw it over the building and say, Andy, Andy, I over. Do you ever play that? Question everything, Dee. There's Dee Dee. Hi, Dee Dee. If I get down to number 37 and there's Dee Dee. Question everything. I think I got more into questioning after I met Dee Dee. I I did question a lot in my later years, but I don't know if I made an effort as a child to consciously question everything. I probably had questions. I probably should have been a little more inquisitive than I was. I don't think children consciously, they just naturally, they do all this stuff naturally. They naturally question. They naturally explore the world around them. I think as we become more adults, we say, okay, I'm going to go play hopscotch, or I'm going to crack nuts, or I'm going to jump rope. You know, we I think more as adults, we try harder to do things that should come natural to us, if you know what I mean. Which makes a good contrast. That might be a good, something nice. I don't know if we could make a list from it, but you think of it as an adult, what things do you just kind of do naturally that we have so many things that we have to do, like wash the dishes and, you know, sweep the floors and do the laundry, but you know, we have all those responsibilities, but what things do we do? That's a good, I mean, I'd have to dwell and think about that. Maybe you guys have some good ideas, but maybe for us, it would be more of a spontaneous thing, like in the shower when you're relaxed and all of a sudden something comes to you, an idea or a thought, an inspiration, or somebody could be talking to you and it spurs a thought. And then for me, I'm off and running and I don't hear the rest of the conversation. Mary, where are you? Oh, question everything. That was from Dee Dee. Dee Dee, you guys are way ahead of me. I'll catch up in a minute. Ring around the rosy, yes. A pocket full of posy. We played that, but we didn't have 20 kids. We had like 6. All fall down. Mina says, what's this list about? Mina, this is about ways to awaken your childhood wonder. And so we're listing things that we did as children. This is inspired out of the Somerset magazine. And let me go back to that article and kind of, maybe this will inspire you again to kind of review it's the paragraph here. The world is full of wonder. See, if we just simply open ourselves up to see it. But sometimes with the weight and the burdens of daily life, we must not only open our eyes to see or tell our minds what we know is true, but we must also feel with our bodies, or taste with our tongues, touch with our skin, and listen to with all of our senses to awaken the childlike wonder in our spirits. So they list things that you can do. Put on a twirly dress and spin until you can't help but laugh. That would be one spin for me. I'd get dizzy after one round. Dance in the rain. I could have done that this morning, Dee Dee. Dance in the rain. Go puddle jumping. Now, I used to watch Gina Ahrens, and she'd go for walks, and I tried that just here, in March, and it was so windy that I lost you guys. My internet didn't follow, and the wind was bad. But I didn't puddle jump. There were no puddles to jump in, but I did try to take you guys on a walk with me. But it says, go for a walk and go puddle jumping. Don't worry about what the neighbors will think. But Gina, every time she'd see a puddle of water, and she saw them out there, she would jump in the water, her foot in the water. I always got a kick out of that. But here's the worksheet. Let me read you that. As we grow older, it's all too easy to lose touch with the child we once were. And that's kind of what this list is about. I'm going to put get in touch. In touch with the child you once were. You know, we have to kind of think about how was it back then you were. Let me finish reading this. The demands of adult life push and pull us in every direction. But perhaps this wouldn't be so bad if we could steal pockets of time to add a little childlike wonder in each day. What are some of the things that you can do to connect with the child buried deep within inside of you? So they're also asking not only what did you do as a child, but what can you do today similar, like make paper dolls? Or what did Dee Dee say? Question everything. Somebody might get tired of you asking all those questions, Dee Dee. Let's see. Ring around the rosy. I got ring rosy. Ring around the 39. Yeah, it's about childlike wonders, Darla says. Dee Dee saying hello to everybody. Looking for 4-leaf clovers. We can still do that. Or create them with your tatting. Looking for 4-leaf clovers. I did that in March with my tatting. Sent one to Katia. 40. Riri. Hi, Riri. She says, hi, Fibs. Rainbows and wondering if there's a pot of gold at the end of it. Oh, that's a good one. Rainbows. And a pot of gold, wondering if there is a pot of gold at the end of it. I'm also going to put, in connection with this, I'm going to put these two together. Double rainbows. Double rainbows are special, aren't they? And 41, I'm going to put watch a sunset or a sunrise. That's something we used to do. I don't get to see many sunsets and sunrises. I get to see the effects of it. I can see the world waking up around me and going to sleep. And I'm sure those of you who, because I'm in a small town, but we used to live out in the country, and to watch that sun go down. Or when I was in high school, my bedroom window faced the east, and I had a big window. It was a picture window. And then it had the two small, it was kind of like it was in a house with the slant, the roof that went this way. And then on the upstairs, my window was up here. And I really loved that room. And it had a big picture window with the two little side windows. Something like what's in front of me here. Only I got all these drapes closed. They're hard to open and close. But watch this sunrise and sunsets. We used to do that. All right, let me get back to you guys. 42. Making a whistle out of a blade of grass. Make whistle from blade of, I've never done that, but did you ever used to fold your hands like this? I probably can't do it now. And then put your thumbs like that and blow, and you make kind of like a dove cooing. I can't get it now. I'll be practicing this all weekend. Anyway, can any of you do that? Did you used to do that where you, I can't remember if we did it this way or if I used to think we did it this way, and then you would open that up and you could make it go woo woo like that. Now I'll be practicing that all weekend now. My brother will think I've gone nuts. I'll let you know if I ever get it. Let's see, Dee Dee said question everything. Make a whistle, rainbow. We're doing a list about what we can do to bring back childlike wonder. Make leaf houses. Now, haven't made a leaf house, but the other day when I took you guys out to the pickup, the back of our pickup where we have all those fallen branches, I picked out some, and I want to try to tie them together with string. And I was thinking if I break them off right, I could, make a little carrying basket. Tie them all together weave the string around them, and I'm still going to try that. It'll give me something to try. But did you guys ever used to, I lost my train of thought. We used to build wishing wells out of rocks because we lived on a gravel road. This is when we lived out in the country. If you lived in the city, you probably didn't do that, but we would build gravel wishing wells. My mom would get a little concerned because we lived out in the country, and we could tell a half a mile away if a car was coming. And they used to scare me. Cars that would be a half a mile away, I would start running for the house. Especially when I was younger. But, we would play out there by the mailbox, and we'd build these stone wishing wells. And we would also, here's our mailbox, and here's our well, I guess if your driveway goes this way, the mailbox would be here, and the gravel road would be there. And we'd pile this gravel up across the road in just a little mound going across the road, and so when the car came by, it would run over it. See, that's just a simple way to have fun. And it didn't hurt the car. It was just going over a bump. But we got joy out of it. Oh, dear. I forgot all about that. Just talking to you guys. Those were pretty good days back then. There were some hard days. But there were some pretty good days back then, too. Now I'm going to go into memory lane here. Let's go to 45. Got the Catching the Fireflies. I got that one. Build a castle with a deck of cards. Wow. I'd have to have double-sided tape. Really. With a deck of cards. How high did it get? Or big did it get? And you could also put sandcastle. I'll put that below. I think we probably did that down at the river. Now I'm talking my own memories here, identifying with you guys. L-E. We built sandcastles down at the river, but we didn't have a sandy beach. Let's see. Dusty. Hi, Dusty. Unicorn. Welcome in. Hopscotch. I got that one, Riri. Looking at dragonflies and admiring their colors. Looking at dragonflies. F-L-I-E-S, not I-L. F-L-I-E-S. And admiring their color. That's a good one. Same way with butterflies. I'm going to put and butterflies. I love living in Madison on toward the end of my stay there in Madison. I moved over to the west side of Madison, and they had a nature reserve. And you guys, I probably have videos of it. I'd go out there and urban sketch, and you could walk. I mean, there was a walking area. They had sunflowers and all sorts of, and they would burn it off. They would burn it off every couple years so that it was a preserve. I'm sure I have videos of that, of going out there. I loved going out there, even as an adult. Let's see. Dusty and Angie playing Mother May I. Playing Mother May I. Now we probably played it, but I don't remember the rules. Card games. We could still play card games. You could play card games by yourself. How many fence posts do you see in a mile? How many telephone posts do you see in a mile? If you drive a lot. In town, you could probably see how many people do you see with jackets on or something like that. Make up your rules. That's 41. This is 42. Sniff crayons, Dee Dee says. Oh, Dee Dee, you make me laugh. Sniff crayons. That's Dee Dee's favorite thing. Yes. We'll draw a little crayon for Dee Dee. We'll put Dee Dee on here. Dee Dee. Dee Dee Dee. Dee Dee's sniffing her crayons. We'll put a nose here. This isn't Dee Dee's nose, but this is a sniffer. They do have a distinct smell, don't they? Sniff those old crayons. I'm not good at drawing noses, Dee Dee. Don't get offended. Oh, I need some nostrils here. Oh, dear. We could do it this way. Sniff that crayon. Oh, dear. This is the artwork part. All right, 43. Wait, I'm 51. This is 51, 50. I've already done the 40s. 52, 53. I love it, sniff crayon. Collect leaves. Yeah, that's a good thing to do. You can do that any time of the year. Well, the winter might be a little hard, but there's probably some dry ones around. You could get spruce branches, but collecting leaves. That's 54. This is 55. Darla says, I still love the smell of old crayons today, Dee Dee. Riri says, catching baby praying mantis and putting them on our rose bushes. Oh, that's interesting. Catching. I don't have that memory, but that sounds like something fun to do. Let's go catch some baby praying mantis. How did you catch them? Baby praying mantis. It's your memory. That's what makes it special. That's what makes it special if it's something you remember from your childhood And you could do that today, Riri. Just go out there and find some baby mantis and put them on your, and put on rosebush. Put them on your rosebush and see how they adapt to the flowers. I don't think we even collected any insects on our plants. We would swat flies. I'm going to put that down there just because that I'm going to mess up here. 52, 53, 54, this is 56. I'm going to put swat flies. We would have to do that. Did you guys have any memory of swatting flies? And he'd fly away, and then you'd chase him, and yeah, I'm going to get you. Collecting ladybugs. I guess we did collect some ladybugs. Now you're, and fireflies. Collect ladybugs, and sing that poem, Ladybug, Ladybug, fly away home. Your house is on fire, and your children are alone. At 58. Looking for fossils and arrowheads. Looking for fossils. Now, as we're doing this, think of one or two that you might want, I mean, in your own mind. I'm not going to ask you to report back or anything. Just think of something as you're doing that. Oh, yeah. You know, and think of, you know, maybe you could get inspired by it, and what could you do to wake up the child inside of you? What could you do, like tomorrow or next week, or like I put, go for a drive in the country. I've starred that. I'm going to star sniffed crayons. I don't really sniff crayons. I like to melt them. That was 37. Was that 30? No, 37 is where she came in. Where sniff crayons is 52. I'm going to star 52. I don't really sniff them, Dee Dee. 59. Melt crayons. That's something I like to do, is to melt them. And I tried to do that the other day, and I wasn't so successful at it. I kind of failed at it. But you can melt some of those bigger crayons. You get those fat crayons, and you can melt them in a puddle, and then you take your crayon and go, and that goes. I've done that. I like to do that. Splatter them. Let's see. I got collect ladybugs, looking for fossils and arrowheads, and then I put melt crayons. I got collect ladybugs, holding a snapdragon flower and making its mouth open and close. Yes. Yes. Now that's something simple you could do. Pick the petals off of a daisy. We used to do that. That's 60. Holding a snapdragon. And making its mouth open and close. Childlike wonder. Its mouth open. Is it 8:30? It's 9:05. All right, we're on 60. So stop, and I'll go catch the rest of these. Don't give me any more. Let me write down the rest of these, and then we'll have the giveaway. Catching crawfish, playing jacks. Playing jacks. You could still do that. Catch crawfish might be a little harder to do today, but you could go fishing. Catch crawfish. My brother says I should learn to fish. I probably wouldn't have any peace. He would be taking me all the time. Holding a snapdragon flower and making its mouth open and close. Go bike riding. Now that's something I would do. Go bike riding. I would do that today if I had a bike. 64. Don't give me any more. Doing cartwheels. Somebody did cartwheels. I wasn't good at gymnastics. Like I said, I couldn't even tumble forward. Going fishing with the bamboo. All right, I'll put go fishing here. I'm not going to put with the bamboo. I'll just 66. Sucking the sweet honeysuckle. That's not a memory of mine either. I don't know if I could identify honeysuckle. We sucked on fudgesicles when they were a nickel piece. Smelling the desert air after a rainfall. Smell. And I'm just going to put air after rainfall. All right, we're at 68 here. No more, no more. Don't give me any more. I'll be writing all night. Water hose to, yeah, they'll spray each other with the water hose. Spray each other with water hose. That could be done today. I don't think my brother would appreciate it. Oh, it's at 68. So I get messed up with my numbering. I think I'm good. 69. We lived in the country, Alec says, and our trees were covered with ladybugs one year. Forts, yeah, build forts. We wouldn't only build them out of snow, we'd build them out of tree limbs and old lumber and, yeah. What did Dusty say? Skinny dipping. I didn't, I went, I started to write Dusty. Skinny dipping. I went skinny dipping one time in my life. And that's all I'm going to say. Oh dear. I was so naive. My mom caught me. She gave me the talking of my life. This was before I knew the facts of life. I was just a young one. I learned pretty fast after that. Listening to the chorus of frogs. Yes. Frogs and crickets if you're a country girl. Listening to frogs chorus sing. Yeah. On a summer night. That's a memory I have. And I have another memory. Now this is when we would go for drives, country drives, we would sing songs. My mom and my younger brother, boy did I lose contact with him. We would sing songs. We would sing God Bless America, and we'd sing Christmas carols. My mom would sing, I couldn't remember the words, but she'd sing Little Rockin' Red Wing. And you know, she, even when she was older, and she lived with me in Iowa, I take her for drives, and she would sing this song, and it just broke my heart. She would, because my dad had already passed away, and she'd sit there on when we were driving, and she would sing, have you ever been lonely? Have you ever been blue? Have you ever missed someone like I'm missing you? And my heart would just break for her. And she would often say to me, she'd say, Mary, I miss the old days. And I would say to her, I would say, I know you do, Mom. I wish I could give them all back to you. And then she'd get real quiet. She'd get lost in her. She had a lot of long-term memory. She couldn't remember where she was, but she could remember where she had been years ago. She could remember where she'd been, but she couldn't remember where she was. My heart breaks for people who lose their memories. And we're remembering a lot just making this list. I'm getting a lot of memories back. And I showed you, I don't know if you guys remember, but when I showed my my very first Society of Idea Collector journal, Dee Dee, this is going to be a book of lists. This is kind of Society of Idea Collector, but it's just the list part. Because I had trouble finding all my lists the other night, so I'm going to start a journal of them. But we'll probably do some lists that we've already done, like all the things that you can do with a blank sheet of paper, I think was one that we really had fun with here in the stream. All right, I kind of got off on a rabbit trail. Listening to the frogs sing at night. That singing got me. Hide and seek. Handstand in clover, Riri says. Don't give me any more. Stop. Handstand in clover. Playing out in the grass, tumbling around. Well, now, see, I've got to talk. When we were in elementary school, 3rd, 4th, 5th grade, we would have our little gangs. You know, that's the gang age. Even in a small school, 2 or 3 of us would be a gang, and there'd be another gang of 2 or 3 others. And that was about all the kids in town. And on recess, we'd play out on the east side of school, of the playground. I mean, it was still the playground, but it was on the east side. And on this side, it had an old school bell. And that's where we had our fort. And on this side, it had some like lilac bushes or whatever, and it made a perfect fort. And then we would run at each other and probably play tag, that type of thing. I can't remember ever fighting. We never, of course, I was a girl. Some of the boys might have fought, but I remember that was a memory that I have. It wasn't really handstands in clover, but it was playing out in the yard. We'd pick dandelions and make dandelion bracelets and, you know, all those things you do at recess as a kid. You're not learning your ABCs or reading or math or... All right, let's see. Hide and seek. Hide and seek. I remember getting locked in the bathroom. I locked myself in the bathroom, and I must have been in 1st grade then. We lived down in Texas. And I can still remember that bathroom. It was just a tiny bathroom. It had a sink, a stool, and I think it had a shower. It didn't have a bathtub. Just a little, probably 5 foot by 5 foot, if even that. And it had a lock on the door, and I locked it on the inside. I was not smart enough to know how to unlock it. And my mom and dad were trying to tell me, and I was crying. I was all upset. I thought they locked me in. Let me out of here. And my dad was just getting ready to take the hinges off the door, and they were trying to explain to me how to unlock it, you know. I guess I must have figured it out, because I don't think he took the hinges off the door. I think I figured it out. I don't think my mom was too happy with me. I didn't get a spanking or anything. I think they were just relieved that it was over with. Oh, dear me. Roller skating, waiting in the swinging. Oh, my goodness here. Swing, 75, roller skating. We could do all of that. You could go swing, roller skating, go to a park and sit in the swing and see how high you can go, how brave you are. Let's see. Collect minnows and frogs. We used to do that, collect minnows. My brother is more than me, but I think I participated once or twice. I don't think I touched the frogs, though. I'm afraid I'd get warts. Dusty said swings make her nauseous now. Well, you could just sit and you don't have to swing. I swing on the front porch. We never had a front porch swing when I was young. I had that creaky front porch swing. Riri says she loves her some swing. Color. Ah, there's an artsy one. Color. You guys are getting artsy. Yeah. Swing on the grapevines. Did you have grapevines, Beth? We never had grapevines. I'd be a little cautious there, but, you know, we never had, you know, how you would see pictures of kids grabbing hold of a vine and swinging across the river and dropping themselves in. We never had that either. We'd go down to the river, but I don't even think we walked out on a log and jumped in. I think we just went wading in the river when I was young. I can remember one weekend, it was a summer weekend, and I must have been about 4th or 5th grade, and we wanted to go down to the river. My dad used to take us down on the weekends, and we were begging to go. And, you know, that was when gas was like 50 cents a gallon or 37 cents a gallon. And we were begging, and they were saying, well, if you find enough money for the gas tank, we'll go. And boy, I'll tell you, that set us off on a search. And I think we found enough, and I think we got to go. We hunted all around that house for 50 cents to get a gallon of gas to go down to the river. I want a copy of this list, Darla says. Can you put a paper up to the camera and I'll take a picture of it? Well, there's 3 pages. All right, Darla, are you there? Let me go down to the bottom. Wait, you guys, are you going to stop? I am way behind you guys. I mean, I'm way behind you. I'm stopping on 78 for now. I'll try to go back and finish it. But Darla, are you out there? Can you take a picture of this? Is it good enough for you? Can you see that front page? Let me see. Tell me if you can. Not Darla. Was it Darla or Dusty who wanted that? All right. I'll wait for you to be done. Don't give me any more, or we'll be here all night and we won't have the giveaway. I left off with swing on the grapevine. I'm going to start here at the bottom. So, we did stop, Mary, a long time ago. Yeah, Kitty says, we stopped, Mary. I was way behind. Okay, so I'm going to work from the bottom up to the grapevines. I'm not going to do any more after Darla says yup, yup. So, I remember that, Darla. Skipping, I have to be in the mood color, Dusty says. We played tag in grade school. We didn't even know what the heck we were doing. It was 4th grade. All right, we'll put play tag. I don't know. Could we play tag today? Oh, that's 80. We played kiss. Oh, kiss tag. Oh, play kiss tag. And now I see why you didn't know what you were doing. If you caught them, you kissed them. I don't know if we ever played kiss tag. We didn't even know what we were doing. How about spin the bottle? Spin the bottle. We could do that today. We could do that in here. Or maybe at Beth's Schuler's. Beth, could you work up a game of spinning the bottle where you could do it with a pencil? And let's see, how could we do that? We could put some names around here, some labels, put this in the center and spin it. And spin your pen, and who it ends up with has to come up with a good quote. Go find a quote for the group or something like that. Spin the bottle. You aren't going to kiss anybody in here that I know of. I'm just trying to think of ways that we could apply the things that we used to do as kids to our adult life today to to wake up are, just talking about it wakes me up. I'm just listening to all the things that you guys have done in your past, and it triggers memories for me. And just talking about it triggers my childlike wonder. You know, one of my favorite poems when I was in high school, all through college, through my adult life, I don't think about it much anymore, but one of my favorites was that little poem by E.E. Cummings that says, "Who are you, little eye, looking out a window, some 6 feet high at the gray November sunset and wondering who I am," and I think it was "wondering who I am" or something like that. I'm not quoting it exactly, but it's a little poem by E.E. Cummings. One of my favorites. I'm going to write that down here. E.E. Cummings. And I'll go look that up and jot it down in here. Who are you, little eye? And as it's written in books, the little I is a little I, and it's all written in small case, and it's kind of interesting. Okay, I'm getting off Spin the Bottle. I got kissed in hide and seek once, Dusty says. Oh, Darla. Meri doesn't think we stopped, and she told us to, Darla says. We did stop, Meri. We just had a really long list. We rocked that list, Riri said. They stopped, we stopped, we stopped. I wasn't up to where you stopped. Oh, there's Teresa. Hi, Teresa. Good evening. We made a big list. We're on 80. So far, do it, Dee Dee. What did Dee Dee say? Dee Dee's laughing. Let me catch up. Do it, Dee Dee. We'd love to see the chair fishing. Chair fishing. Trash catching requires great skill to bring that garbage in. Dee Dee's laughing. Do it, Dee Dee. Teresa says, chunky dunking for me. Chunky dunking? What's chunky dunking? Chunky dunking? I've never heard of that, Teresa. Dee Dee says, I have another short. Oh, it's a short. Oh, Dee Dee, why aren't you a mod, Dee Dee? Can you find that short? Let me make Dee Dee a mod. Wait, I don't want to hide you. I want to make Dee Dee a mod. Why isn't Dee Dee a mod? Add as a moderator. All right, Dee Dee, you should be a moderator now. I would love to see, if you can grab that short, if it's a viral one, I'd love to see that. I had another short where I caught a plastic chair. That one would go viral. Catch a plastic chair. Dee Dee says, I have a short on how to bait a hook. Bait a hook. Ew! Ew! I just feel for those little bugs. We're putting them on a hook and going to feed them to the fish. They don't have a choice. They're going to get eaten. Dee Dee says she loves to fish. Rain Girl! Cindy! Rain Girl! Yay! I have to extend apologies to Rain Girl, Cindy. She emailed me or messaged me and said, Meri, you have me blocked. And I went and looked, and I looked on my mobile phone, and sure enough, she was blocked. And that just happens. It happens accidentally. There's nothing that Cindy did that anybody would block her, that I know of. I don't think so. And I deleted her off of the block list, but I couldn't see on my mobile phone, and I tried to shorten the. It's very hard to go to your studio and do things on the mobile phone. I couldn't see where to save it. And I thought, well, maybe it saves if I go back. You know, sometimes when you make a change, you go back and hit save up at the front, up at the top. And I did that, and I checked 3 or 4 times, and I didn't see her, but she wasn't taken off the list. She was still blocked. And she's been very patient with me while I figured out how to get her unblocked. And she's unblocked now. It's so good to see you, Cindy. Yay, you're in here. What did she say? She said, blow dandelion seeds. We had picked dandelion seeds. I don't think we had blow the dandelion seeds. Yeah, that's a good one. Blow dandelion seeds. Although I get out there with Grandpa's weeder now and pull them up at the roots before they seed out, because our yard, I think I must have pulled 500 dandelion plants, and they're still out there. After it rained, there'll be more. And I'm trying to get them, as many as I can. I mean, I know that the more will pop up, but, you know, it'll turn into a regular field if we don't do something. And I know that you can spray them, but I guess we don't do that here. So my brother said Mary's declared war on the dandelions. Darla says take a little sniff of those crayons before you melt them. Cameron, Dee Dee says, Cameron is Dee Dee's grandson. Used to be able to catch fireflies with his fingers. Aww. He's a brave one. Dee Dee says, I won't tell you what we did with the lizards. Oh, Dee Dee, I don't want to know what you did with... Don't make a short, Dee Dee. I don't want to see a short of whatever it was you did with lizards. Dee Dee, are you still here? If you're here, Joyce Boring told me early in the stream that you're going to have a zine. Could you talk about that just for a minute? I don't think, she said you were going to announce it Monday, but you might tell the folks in here what you told the folks today about the zine. Maybe a word or two. Let's see, Allie K said, there was a little boy selling lemonade last summer, and of course I had to stop. 84, sell lemonade, or a lemonade stand. You could do that. Just build you a little card table out there and take a picture of lemonade, and 5 cents a glass, and probably be $1.25 now for a little styrofoam cup. All right. Oh, and Beck was here. Beck is really going to ditch us to crochet, Dee Dee. I think teach us to crochet. Sleep well, Becky. I didn't know Becky was in here. She must have popped in. Becky said, I just wanted to pop in to say hello. I'm going to go get ready for bed. Have a wonderful weekend. I talked to Becky just briefly today via messenger because I wasn't sure she was going to do the craft and chat. And she said Greg was going to help her out in the yard or do something today. So she's probably pretty tired. Sweet dreams, Becky. She's probably ready for bed. She says hello and good night. Bubblegum Bubbles. 85. Bubblegum Bubbles. Yes. Chew gum. Bubblegum. I'm put a star by that. You know, you don't have to chew bubblegum. You can chew the dentist approved Trident and Orbit gum. Bubble. B-U-B-B-L-E. Bubble gum. And you can blow bubbles with, if you chew enough Trident. Bubbles. You can still, I sometimes blow bubbles with my Trident gum. We expect you to have that next week, Mary. I don't know what you expect me to have. Mary did that too. Oh, I'm going to practice it. You make a call like a dove call. And you hold your hands like this. And I used to do it all the time. And you make a kind of a blowing sound. And then as you blow, you move this part of your fingers up and down, and it makes a ooh, ooh sound. Only a different type of. Oh, Dusty calls it the dolphin whistle. I don't know what a dolphin whistle. Riri says clover flower necklaces. Clover. Boy, we could do that. Most of our clover is dying now, but we have clover in the yard. We've got violets all over the place. And you said violets are kind of pretty, but they're very invasive. They're a pretty plant. Clover flower necklaces. My brother hates them. Violets. They grow wild over here. Let's see. Dusty said, thank God you needed to know how to read to continue the next grade back then. Darla said, this is so fun. I remembering childhood. Yeah. Do kids go to the library anymore? I know I think they're really encouraged to read a lot. I know my grandniece, that in the school that, now I can only speak from my personal experiences, but they encouraged them to read in grade school. And they would have reading programs, and then they'd read so many books in the summer, and they'd get awards for it. And so I don't know if they do such a family thing anymore. Like my mom used to take us like every couple of weeks, and we'd check out our books, and there's a childhood memory going to the library. But I do think, at least in the schools around here, they encourage children to read. Is my opinion. Just from my experience of watching my grandniece grow up, but going to the library. You could do that now. Like even our little county library here, I'm on their Facebook group. I'm also read their website, and they have special programs for the kids. So I want to say, at least around here, but this is a rural community. And it's even where the town where my grandniece lives is like 12 to 15,000. And, it's not a big city. It's well, my brother says it's a small city, but it's really a small town. We're a little podunk town. But our county library, they have activities in the summer, reading programs for the kids. Dusty says she still reads a lot. So I'm going to put /reading. We used to get those highlight magazines, children's magazines, 88. I'm going to put down children's magazines. And you could go to the library now as an adult and visit the children's aisle. Dee Dee, do you ever do that? Do you ever buy children's books, Dee Dee? Dee Dee's a good one with reading. She puts up on her community tab, I think it's every Monday, but I won't say that for sure, but I know she always puts up books that she finds interesting. I always check it out. I've kind of lost track of her. Well, I did see your last garden post. She's got a beautiful garden. Ours is trying to come up. My brother said our corn is peeking out. Darla says, oh, I hated dodgeball. The balls back then hurt. Dee Dee said she had books. Oh, there. I'm reading backwards. I'm not to the grapevine yet. Playing dodgeball. I'm reading backwards, and I've got, 10 more? Swinging on the grapevine was 78. We're on 86. Playing on grapevine. Why don't I, Darla, you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to snap some pictures of this, like you can too while I am. And I'll put them on the community tab. Dee Dee says, I had books, Mary, to answer my question. Play dodgeball, frisbee, 87, frisbee. This is still stuff that you can do as adults. I don't know if there's a senior frisbee team or not, but Riri, yes it did. Someone was close to you on the other end so you could hear them. Bella Grace magazine, birthday parties. Birthday parties, this is something you can have. We still do that for my grandniece, and her birthday is on September 3rd, and my brother's is on September 5th. So we get together as a family. Birthday parties. We do. She has her own friends' birthday parties, but they have the aunts and uncles and grandmas and grandpas over for her. She gets money. Pin the tail on the donkey. Pin tail on donkey. Shaving cream. Oh, Beth did shaving cream painty papers in her stream last night. She said it was fun. Hand dyeing, hand clapping, slapping games, Riri says. We're on 90, 90. Hand slapping clapping games, like slapjack. Hand slapping, clapping games. I remember slapjack. I'm going to put that in there. Slapjack. With the cards. And you'd turn those cards over. You'd deal out so many. And if you call jack, you would slapjack. Snipe hunting in the dark. I don't know what that is, but that's a memory that Beth has. Snipe hunting in dark. You know, I'm going to leave at 10 o'clock. But this is good. This is really a good list. Write it down, Dee Dee says. Listen to records. All right, wait. We're going to do another. We're going to get these. Record player. Oh, the old vinyl records. Listen to records. Now, if you grew up in the 50s like I did, Elvis Presley, the Everly Brothers, Diane Warwick, Dolly Parton, I think probably back in there. I don't know if she was 50s or 60s. Who else? Chubby Checkers, more in the 60s. Let's do the Twist, the Beatles. Oh, all those memories. Whistle. I didn't whistle much as a child, but I learned to whistle in college. I don't know if I could do it now. I'm not going to try it here. And whistle a tune, not just blow your mouth and make a sound. Whistle a tune. Oh, I used to know people who could just whistle like they were singing. Pig roast, Beth says. Pig roast. Bonfire parties. Beth is sharing some of her memories. And we would have barn fires at school, more connected with the ball games. Man, I'm bringing back memories. Play Duck, Duck, Goose. I've heard of that game. Duck, Duck, Goose. Watermelon seed spitting. Now that's one I remember. Watermelon. We can still do that. Watermelon seed spitting. We grew watermelon, and it grew real good here last year. We're trying it again this year. It had a lot of seeds in it. I could not find seedless watermelon. I've looked all over for it. I wanted to plant seedless watermelon. I tell my brother I can't find it. And he'd say, I don't know how they do that. I don't either, but I know I couldn't find any seed or couldn't find any plants. We did over the roof of the house. Yeah, and we called it Andy I over. My sister and I dug clay from the creek bank and made little animals. Clay from creek and made, I should put dug clay from creek and made animals. Children have such wonderful imaginations. And you were a child once. Everyone, let's see, eat a cracker and see who can whistle first. Roller a bat? I don't know what that is, Angie. Roller a bat. Joy said, I did, Mary, and we had a tree in the backyard. Horseback riding. I think she means a tree swing, Joyce. Horseback riding. We never had horses. Although my brother's friend had a Shetland pony and they would go riding. I don't think I ever got to ride him. It was a boy thing. Climbing trees. That, I can't climb trees now, but I can go out and hug one. I used to climb trees. I climbed trees and windmills. I can go hug a tree now. I don't think I could climb one. And then being afraid to get down, Riri says. Angie says, Dee Dee, I can see you going down the road on it. Someone's saying, look out, here comes Dee Dee. What was Dee Dee saying? Yeah, Riri, I want to keep them happy. Riri said, they look like fun, Dee Dee, now that you still won't break something, but you'll have to be observed and acknowledged in their concerns. Dee Dee, I'm going to put 98, and I'm going to credit this one with to Dee Dee. She plays with Barbie dolls. Play with Barbie dolls. This is Dee Dee's. This is how she awakes her childlike wonder. One of the ways she awakes everybody. She has Barbie doll photography. It's a thing on the Dee Dee's channel. You can tell, man, you guys, I'm still not up to the swinging the grapevines. Mining for gold. Let's see, what did Dee Dee say? I should get one of those giant tricycles. Good, I ultimately got a new phone. That resolved my problem. They're laughing at Riri. Blow bubbles. I think she means Darla. Blowing bubbles, blowing soap bubbles. Soap bubbles. Not bubble gum, but soap bubbles. I don't think we've had that yet. We used to go for a drive in the country every Sunday afternoon. Yeah, Diane, we would too. And we used to sing. My mom used to kind of, she would sing and we would sing along. And I told you how when she was older, I'd take her out for a drive. She enjoyed that so much. I miss her so much. Now I'm going to cry. I wish I could hug her again. You know, she is, I told my brother, because we were commenting on the flowers. And I said, you know, I think that's where I got my love of having all these flowers in the spring. My mom loved double petunias. And every spring we would go buy flowers, and she would buy plats, you know, boxes of 6-packs of double petunias, and she'd plant them in these 2 great big old whiskey barrels. You know, the half whiskey barrels, the decorative kinds. They were cheaper back then. And every spring, she had double petunias in those whiskey barrels. But she loved snapdragons and And I can remember one year when I was staying with my mom and dad when I was older. And we were out in the yard, and she looked at the flowering bed, and she said, "Oh, the gaillardia are coming up." Gaillardia are kind of like a orangey brown red daisy, kind of. They almost look like a sunflower or a coneflower shaped. And they used to grow in the ditches here. The highway used to plant them on the country highways, but they don't do that anymore. We used to drive down the country roads, and you'd look out in the ditch and you'd see these the ditches lined with gaillardias. Oh, I miss that. And when we were driving, oh, gosh, you got me going, you guys. My brother and I took flowers down to our parents' grave for Memorial Day. And we were talking about the old school, and I was telling how they, at one time, had converted the school into a hunting lodge. And we were talking about hunting season. Used to be when he was younger and I was younger, even when we were in high school, they would have a lot of hunters come up for pheasant season. And now you don't even see a pheasant. You could not drive down the road out in the country without a pheasant out in front of your car. And that's how they would sound when they would fly in front of your car. Out of the car would scare them. And the car would be coming down the road, and then the pheasant would fly out in front of you and go, blah, 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 scaring you to death like you were going to kill the thing. But you don't see, we used to see jackrabbits and rabbits, and I asked my brother, how come we don't see those anymore? And he said, the farmers, kill the habitat, and they pull out all the thickets and everything, and then they have the hunting season. And although I won't blame the hunters so much, because that's kind of regulated. You can, you have limits on what you can. Even now they have deer season around here, but they don't have, at least around this part of Nebraska. Now, in the more wooded area, or even out west, they might have more of a hunting season, but they don't have it around here anymore. Just memories. Put pennies on the train tracks. Beth, put pennies on the train tracks? You used to do that? I'm not going to go out here when I hear a choo-choo train and put pennies on the track. Weren't you afraid of it derailing? I would be afraid of it derailing. Who put those pennies on the track? You made it drive off the... Go to the store with Grandpa. I'm going to get these down. Go to store. We got to get to the end here pretty soon with Grandpa. I didn't know my grandparents. I have a few memories of my grandparents on my dad's side when I was young, but not very many. Now the family won't let me roller skate, Dee Dee says. They're afraid I will break something. Oh, dear. Diane says, an ice cream truck comes through my apartment complex sometimes. Yeah, we used to have one up in Madison. In the larger communities, they still kids out there trying to make money. Rain Girl said, Riri, hello, you can see me, yay. Yeah, Cindy is unblocked officially. I'm so glad to see her in here. Going to the zoo? Going to the zoo? That's something you can still do. We don't have a zoo here, but I would love to go to the museum and see if I could sketch. When I first came back here, I wanted to do that, and I asked permission, but the lady who could give it wasn't there, and I never went back. Horseback riding, did I get that? Horseback riding? Horseback. I don't know if I could get on a horse today. Riding. 104. Dusty said, I taught my daughter the game Bush or Tree. I don't know what that is. Bush or Tree game. I'll have to look that up. Or tree game. But these are your memories, too. I mean, you get me going, but Beth says, finding coal on the train tracks and using it for chalk. Coal on train. I know, that's interesting, Beth. Train track and using for chalk. Now, my dad, and in fact, we still have some out in the garden here that my brother rescued, brought down here. My dad used to, when they were repairing railroads around here, they would leave railroad ties, the old ones, and they put in new ones. And my dad got permission to go collect some of those railroad ties. And I can remember the railroad ties. They had a lot of creosote in them then. I don't know what they have now. Hi, Cindy. Yo, Cindy. I did that with spring. Pedal car races. You guys have got a whole nother page and a half. I know you stopped. You must be bored while I'm trying to catch up. I was a champion at tetherball. We had a tetherball. I want to get these down, as many as I can, because this will be a fun list. Roller skating all through downstairs and out the garage and porch. Well, I don't know about roller skating, but we used to play on the stairs. I'm going to put play on stairs. Play on stairs. I'm not talking about porch. I'm talking about a 2-story house. We'd go up to it'd probably be 12 to 16 steps, and it'd have a curve. And we would get on our tummies and crawl down those steps. Taking a buttercup and hold it to your chin to see if you like butter. Hold a buttercup to your chin to see if you like butter. I got it all on one line, almost. That's a B. Skateboarding, Riri says. Skateboarding. Did I get roller skating? I think Dee Dee was talking about it. I don't know if I'm going to put / roller skating. I think you guys were talking about it. Roller skating. Getting smacked in the face with a tetherball isn't fun, Dee Dee said. Slide down on grass hill on cardboard. Slide down. Hey, you gonna do that today, Joyce? Go get your big old cardboard box. That might be a interesting thing to try. I would probably get 2 inches. Climbing trees. No worries about Dee Dee doll. Darla says, I want a copy of this list. Swing on the grapevine. All right, I'm caught up at 111. Let me go down to the bottom. Let me refresh chat. And we'll take a picture of this. And then I'll do the giveaway. Some of you probably got tired and left. Oh, messages. Dusty says, I will do a short when I find one. Dusty said, you took a blade of grass that had gone to seed and you asked your friend, tree or bush. Oh, that's interesting. And then you pulled the seed off while keeping the seed between your fingers. And if it was a tall tree, if it was tall, a tree. If it was short, it was a bush. Oh, that's interesting, Dusty. She's talking about tree and bush game. Tree or bush game. That's interesting. I'd love to see that short, Dusty. Let us know when you do that. Jen's still here. Angie's still here. We used to roll down the hill. I'll put that as 112. Roll down the hill. We used to do that too. Roll, get on the ground and go. All right, let me stop at 112. You guys, what a lot of wonderful. Look, we filled 2.5 pages, front and back. This has been a good time. So let me, I'll take a picture of this, and if, Darla, if you want to take a picture while I am, I'll take a picture from above. Well, you can swipe. I'll try not to get in your view. I would try to snap it on my phone up above, but I'm afraid I'll mess up the live stream. So let me get my camera out here. Where did it go? Make sure my sound is down. Where'd my camera go? It floats around on me. Where'd it go? Oh, it made its own little group. Alrighty, now let's move it. I gotta get my phone set up. Alright. And I'll put this picture, I'll put them on the community tab after we're done. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Flip that page. For anybody who's doing screenshots. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it. You know, it's interesting. Most of these were not related to art. Dee Dee's smelling crayons, and there were a couple other artsy ones in here. We're going to do another list, not tonight, but we'll do another list of art memories, childhood art memories. So you can be thinking about that. I want to do the giveaway here, and the way we're going to do this, there are 25 of you in here. I think I counted, 22 of these tags. These are really 4th of July tags. If you are in Canada and you still want to tag, because I'll just take the American flag off. I can pop it off. Because they all have Tim Holtz paper dolls on them. I made these in 2019, and I never got them sent out. I never had, I'm calling them patriotic tags. I never had a giveaway or anything, so you don't worry about getting something that somebody else asked for and got. I never had a giveaway with them. So I'm going to do a start. Yes, Angie. If you want to give your tag to somebody, tell me who it is, but I might have to find their address, so I might be, if I know their address, I'll get it. Beth Schuller has a pretty good address list in her group. If you want to gift one to somebody, I will do that, say Janet Nash or somebody like that, or Becky or somebody. You are free to do that, as long as I know them, or you know, one of our art member, you know, somebody who comes in here like Arlene or something like that. Now I did do a goat tag for Becky's mother, but I would really prefer not your brothers and sisters and all that. Becky's mother has been in here before when she was staying with Becky, so I kind of know her. And Becky said her mother has goats. So I would prefer it be somebody within our art group if you want to gift, but you're free to gift. So I'm going to put in a go, and I have 22 of them. Let me put in the go. And if you want one, and Canadian, you're welcome. If you're in Canada or England or wherever you are, if you're out there and just silent, you mean, I think, Darla, you're Canadian. Dee Dee, you are so sweet. Wait, let me type in the go. Thank you, Dee Dee. Oh, to help with postage. Well, Dee Dee, to tell you the truth, I've been saving up my forever stamps. So I think I can just get these in a business envelope and put a stamp on them. They'll probably, I might have to put a piece of copy paper around them because they have this bling, but I think these will go. And if you're in Canada and you want one, let me know whether you want me to take the flag off or not. Because these were really made for 4th of July, and I was going to do something else for international, but they'll go for, because they all have Tim Holtz paper dolls on them, and they have a patriotic, I must have had a deck of cards with a soldier on them, because all of them have soldiers on the back, and I've signed them June of 2019. I called them patriotic tags, and they've just been sitting around here, and so I'll 12 for Cheryl. Oh, there, you don't have to put in numbers. No numbers. We're just say me if you want one, and me if you want to gift somebody one. And it's okay to have leftovers. I'll just keep giving them away. I'll give them away. I don't give away tonight, I'll have a giveaway in the morning, because I get a little bit different crowd in the morning. So we'll give a little time here while that's going on. Dee Dee, I don't know if you heard, but my next die project is going to be this PEA. It's called PEA, and I ordered this when I was still doing that dyeing with DYING with Rosemary, her project, and I tried it, but I need to use this up. So this is going to be my next. I think I'll do that this weekend. And I want to do some avocado dyeing, and I want to do some black bean dyeing, but I have to buy the avocado and the black beans. I was telling them about that in Pearl's stream today. We got into a little bit of a dye chat, and somebody dyed with red cabbage and said it stank, and somebody else told me that black beans will smell. Now, I didn't notice any smell with the onion, but I noticed it cooking, but by the time it cooled off and, simmered down and everything, there was no smell. Do you want one, Rain Girl? Rain Girl, you're over in Australia, aren't you? Or New Zealand? I'll send one to you if you want one. You never heard of PT? They're like little flowers. Let me take out a couple here, because I'm going to open them up this weekend anyway. You can tell how... I don't even want to... Well, let's see. Was it 2020 that she was doing that, or 21? She still does her dyeing. I just don't follow it so much anymore. But I want to... K3N Cloth Tails. Oh, and Dee Dee... Here's my friend, and anybody else who popped in. I brought my indigo plant. Let me grab a sheet of paper here, or a little bit of white background. Or you could probably see, but how this is Japanese indigo. And K3N has dyed with Japanese indigo, and she got me started on wanting to plant some and see if I could make some, and it's supposed to be purples and greens. So I'm going to see what I can get out of it, but it has to grow. I planted these in one of my morning streams a couple weeks ago, and I was reading the Mary Jane magazine, And it said that if females, you know, like the female, if you're a woman, sing to their plants, they actually grow an inch more than if men sing to their plants. I got a kick out of that. So I went out to the windowsill and I sang, "This is my Father's World" to them. I sang a hymn to them. I think I'll sing "Amazing Grace" to them. And fair is the sunshine, and fair are the meadows. So we'll see how these grow. That's kind of my fun projects. I'm just going to open these, and while you're in Mississippi? I thought were you at one time overseas? Were you always in Mississippi? Who was in New Zealand? How did I ever get you in New Zealand? Were you ever in New Zealand? In 2020, whoever I was thinking of had visited China, and it was right before COVID hit. And she was in China, and she was worried about getting home. You used to be in Northern California. You pray over yours? Well, that's why you have such a beautiful garden, Dee Dee. I'm going to have to start praying. Can you pray for the weeds to die? God says, no, Mary, you got to get out and pull them. I want to get a few of these in my hand to show Dee Dee what they're like. They're purple. They're little purple. They're like lavender buds almost. I'll hold them up. And I think that it doesn't take a whole lot to get color. See, this is what they are. They're called Petrie, P-E-A. I think it's tree. It could be P-T. T-E-A. P-E-A-T-E-A. It's either P-T or P-tree. I forget which it is. But I got mine on Amazon. You can look for it on Amazon, but I got a whole bunch of it. So I'm going to have to put this in another baggie here. I don't know if I have one out. I had those extra bags, but I think I put them in. I'm just going to set it up right in this box for now, so if anything falls out, I can empty it out. Because this, well, look, I could have dug them out of here, but I'll use those. And I'll let you know, I'll report back on how these die. You know, now take into consideration they're a couple years old. Looks like birdseed, Angie says. You have to pick your weeds out yourself. Gonna make us work. All right, let me, this is the last thing we're gonna do, you guys. Let me make a list of who, and what I don't give away tonight, I'll give them an opportunity in the morning. We'll get these mailed out, though. They won't go out tomorrow. I'll be working on them this weekend. Dee Dee, do you want one? Angie said Dee Dee. So these are, I'm going to call them the patriotic. Let me get this off my desk. P-A-T. Dee Dee, thank you for the super chat. You are so sweet. Patriotic tags. Dee Dee. Joyce. And I know it's Joyce Benting. Kitty Jen. Do I have your address, Jen? I think I do. I'm not sure. 12 for Cheryl. I think she meant a number. Number 12 for Cheryl. Not 12 tags. Ring Girl. I'll need your address, Ring Girl. You can message me on Facebook. Becky. Dee Dee. We got Dee Dee. I'm going to give Dee Dee's, the one, when Dee Dee said me, I'm going to give it to Arlene, unless somebody said Arlene, because we got Dee Dee up here. You're going to get one. Linda Renz. Linda, do I have your address? Would you send me your, let me put in my email address. You know, I always want to type my old email that I used in 1998. I don't know why my brain thinks of it every time I get ready to type in. There is my address. Linda, if you'd send me your current address, I'm not sure if I have it. It might be out on Becky's list. Cindy, your address. I have Becky's and Arlene's. Kitty Jen, I'm not sure if I have yours. I might. I have Dee Dee's. Let's see. Angie said, give mine to Aunt Beck. Melody. Let's see. I got Becky. Melody. Hi, Melody. Melody was in Pearls. Got Arlene. Hi, JM. It's good to see you. JM was telling me you have an Instagram account. I'd sure like to know, are you JM on JMH on Instagram? I'd sure like to see. We were talking about dying. JM was the person who, were you the person that died with cabbage? Do you want to tag JM? You're certainly welcome to one. Dusty. Me, Janet Nash. So Dusty, I'll need your address. Dusty and Janet Nash. Darla Phillips. Darla was in Pearl's stream today. I have Darla's address. Dee Dee says, never heard of it, Mary. We were talking about the P. I think it's PT, T-E-A, not tree. It could be P-tree, but I think it was P-T. Dusty said, I have a couple of avocados, so I'm going to try it. I got to buy some avocados. I think we're done. Let's see, I pray. You have to pick your own weeds. Looks like birdseed. Mary, are they butterfly pea blossoms? I don't know if that's what they call them on Amazon. I think I've always known them as PT or pea tree. But I showed you there's those little purple blossoms. Let me look on Amazon. Of course, it's been so long that it's no longer in my cart. But let me, because I got my Amazon on this phone. Let me see if I can find them and give you the correct. Let's see. I'm going to type in P-T-E-A and P-T butterfly purple. That's what it is. Only there's, now see, this is coming in a jar. This one's in a jar. This one's in a bag. Mine came in a plastic bag. But they, looks like they repackaged them. So these are the purple ones. So you just type in P-T, P-E-A-T-E-A, butterfly. And I guess you can drink it. It's herbal tea. I don't drink it, but let's type in P. I don't want to do that. I got it. It sent me over to my camera. They thought I was going to upload something. Let's go back into Amazon. And let me just type in P-E-A-T-E-A without doing the purple. And let's see if it's other types. This is blue. It looks like there's blue. Looks like there might be blue and purple. Some calls it blue tea. Organic butterfly pea flower. I guess it's also known as blue. No, I got out of it. my fat fingers. That's how I was seeing if there was any other color. Natural butterfly pea flowers. Butterfly pea. That looks like it's all blue or purple. It looks purple on my hand, but it might be blue. It might come out as blue. Blue tea. Pea flower tea. So you're basically doing a tea dye. All right, so I have Dee Dee, Joyce, Kitty Jen, Cheryl, Rain Girl, which is Cindy, Becky, Arlene, Linda Renz, Melody, Dusty, Janet Nash, and Darla. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's about half of them, a little over half. I have 22 of them that I can give away. So I'll do this again in one of my morning streams. I don't know when. Let's see, let's put 5/31, 2024 on here. And I'll try to get these out well, they'll go out early next week. I won't get, tomorrow's Saturday and they close our post office at 9:30, so I won't get them out by tomorrow at 9:30. Thank you, Dee Dee, again for the super chat. They are butterfly pea flowers, Dusty says. Let's see, let me go back. Mary, I was thanking Dee Dee for the sweet money she gave you, Angie said. Oh, well, Dee Dee said me anyway, Angie. I thought you were picking Dee Dee. But Dee Dee said me, so we got her regardless. I'll send my address again, Mary. It's on the postcard. Oh, okay, Linda. It is on the postcard. I noticed that. Kitty Jen, Mary, you do have it. You sent me 2 postcards not too long ago. I think I have Melody's address because didn't I draw a horse envelope for you, Melody? I remember that. I think I have yours. Dee Dee, you all the time drinking water. Do you ever drink tea? They are butterfly. Okay, I think we're ready to... Oh, there's Artful Esther. Hi, Esther. Oh, she just popped in. Esther, we did a list. I'm going to put it on my community tab. It was a list on what we can do to awaken the child inside of us. And so we really talked a lot about childhood memories and what we did as children. They were woken all my memories. I couldn't quit talking about. Somebody would say something, I'd go, oh yeah, we did that. And then I'd go into a long spiel. I took pictures of the list. We did 2.5 pages of things that we came up with. Esther, it was inspired out of this magazine. Let me get it without spilling the tags. This is the Bella Grace magazine, Book of Lists. And it was inspired by a list here that they have about ways to awaken your childhood wonder. And then they give a list of about 16 things, and then they encouraged you to make a list. The other one, for those of you who popped in, the other list that they had in there that I found interesting was, there's 2 other ones. We're not going to do them, but I'll read the title to you. When I'm old, I will. This applies to me. I have so many things I want to get done. You know, we have time now. I never had time. I worked and worked and worked and worked just to pay the rent. But we have, I'm not all out of frame here. We worked and worked and worked. And now we have time to do these things. And then the other one that I found interesting that I thought you guys might like was ways to add a little sparkle to your life, to your day. And then they give suggestions. The one that I found really fun was to design your own unique happy box. And it was take a box and put things in it that make you happy, like buttons and material and leaves and or whatever you can find. It said fill it with all the things that never fail to make you happy. And I was telling them earlier that this whole room in here is stuffed full of things that make me happy. A box wouldn't hold it. I'd have to have a house. I'm surrounded with things that make me happy. And it's expanding outside to the garden. So I want to thank you all for coming. We did a really, really fun list. I have enjoyed this day, because, when I'm doing art, I don't get to sit and chat with you. And when we do these lists, we visit, we share things. And I sit, and while I'm writing this down and I'm talking to you and we're talking to each other, this is just a good time. And we all owe this to Dee Dee. Dee Dee is the person, I never made lists until I met Dee Dee. You can blame Dee Dee. Yeah. So with all of that, I'm going to sign off, tell you guys to have a really, really good weekend. Have a good weekend. Hopefully we won't have storms. We've had such a stormy spring. Be safe out there. I think it's the end of May. There are a lot of picnics going on. Go on a picnic. And if you can't go on a picnic with somebody, make you a peanut butter and jelly sandwich and go sitting on the front porch and have your own little picnic with some Kool-Aid. And I mean sugar Kool-Aid that you buy at the store. Bye, everybody. Have a great weekend. Bye.